Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. I mean, so if you guys keep clicking, I'll keep making. And today we're gonna be talking about the Ua tribe and how it's such a disaster. What's new? Let's get right into it. But first, 70% of you guys who are watching these videos are not subscribed. Let's change that. It's easy and it's free. And stay until the end of the video to find out what Saturday's video is going to be on. Again, just to clarify, if you guys haven't heard, I'm going to change my Friday upload to Saturday and then my Power Rankings podcast to Sunday, just for some background knowledge. And trust me, it's a really good one on Saturday. So stay to the end to find out what that video is. So, the Ua tribe, it's a disaster. No. So the Ua tribe for me, the Ua tribe is exactly what I thought it was going to be preseason. So if you want to go check out it's called the boot order and winner pick, I think, video. That video, it's now like 1,200 views. That video, I predicted that the Ua tribe would actually lose all these challenges. That would get Matt Singh get down to 2, and guess who I predicted would still be there? Shan and Ricard. I was 100% right, and then I predicted that they would get dissolved into the other 2 tribes. So I just wanted to mention that and see, hopefully, maybe I can get the rest of the season right. And then people are going to accuse me of knowing spoilers when really I didn't know any spoilers, and I have just guessed Ricard and Chantel up to this point. And that was made before the even official cast assessment happened. So I was going off of pure pictures there. So first, I actually want to touch on a tribe that we're not really going to be talking about, which is Yase. So originally, what we thought is that Yase would be the tribe losing all of these challenges, but actually, it seems that it's the opposite, where it's Ua losing. So I had thought pre-cast dropped and pre-season that Ua was going to get Matt Singh, but as this tribe, at least in the first 2 episodes for sure, I thought that the Yase tribe was definitely going to swap spots with the Ua tribe, and they did for a little bit, but then the Yase tribe got together after Abraham and Boche went, and after that, it seems that they've done much better, and they're on track to not be a Matt Singh tribe, they will definitely not be a Matt Singh tribe, which is good for them. So I just want to give Yase credit where it's due, because if Yase didn't pull that out, now this title of the video is the Yase tribe is a disaster, which is good for them, because as we'll talk about later, being a small tribe, although it's fun sometimes, it's not so fun like 99% of the time. So, just to recap, on the Ua tribe, in the first episode, there was a double tribal in which they voted out Sarah at their tribal because they had lost. Then in the second episode, no one went home. And then in the third episode, it was Brad that went home, and then in the fourth episode it was JD, and then in the in the fifth episode that just dropped, it was Genie. So that's the recap of the Ua tribe going home. Now what I want to do is talk about each person and their boot specifically, and really just how it contributed to where the Ua tribe is now, and how it contributes to Ricard and Shan's journey overall to this point. Okay, so first things first is Sarah. Sarah, very nice girl, 25, not like, like Harvey, but attractive girl. Social skills, meh. I don't know if she necessarily had a very good shot at winning, and she was very young, and that's never really great. And the thing is she acts younger than Xander is, and Xander's 18. So, I don't know, it was a little bit iffy on that. And Sarah originally started out in what I thought, or at least what I perceived from the TV show, to be the original power trio on this tribe when the season started out in the premiere. And she was in this power trio with Ricard and Shan. So it was Sarah, Ricard, and Shan. And it seemed like they had complete control, and that Genie, JD, and Brad were at their mercy. But the flaw in this is that Shan and JD had a very, very close bond. And this close bond was super important, because this caused Shan to, when the 3 of them wanted to vote out JD because he was playing very strategically, this caused Shan to send off alarm bells, stand up with JD at the first tribal, and make it a live tribal, in which she then flips over with JD and takes Ricard with her, and Brad happens to vote for Sarah, and that leaves Sarah out on the outs here. The thing that Sarah did wrong here, I guess maybe, is a lack of solidifying her alliances and making sure that she wasn't targeting someone who one of her alliance member has a really close relationship with, and telling the alliance member. It's not a very good idea by her. Next boot we have here is Brad. Brad gets a bunch of advantages, and in his boot episode, he gets an advantage from the island that everyone keeps going to, except it was at night, and I believe he gets a steal vote there, if not an extra vote. He also finds the same advantage that Xander found, the beware advantage, in which he lost his vote because he opened it, but now he had also found the beware advantage, and he just seemed to be like rolling. I mean, he seemed to be doing so well, and so it seems like Brad was doing great. But he told Shan about all these advantages because Brad perceived Shan as his number one ally, and Shan turned around and had to pick between either blindsiding JD, who we saw get caught with an advantage in his pocket this episode, and so JD then gave Shan the advantage to buy back her trust, and because of this, Shan was willing to vote out Brad and also did so. And so he was a victim of trusting the wrong person in Shan. Notice how there's a pattern here. Shan is in charge of a lot of these blindsides. Next, we had JD. So as we talked about last episode, JD had gotten caught with literally an advantage sticking out of his pocket in his extra vote that he got on the island in the premiere episode. And he got caught by Shan and Ricard with this. So he pulled them aside and confessed, and Shan convinced him to give her the idol. But then when his episode starts, she then gives it back to him to show that she still trusts him. But there's still like that scar of like, I can't trust you anymore type of thing going on. They end up kind of having a tip back and forth, where they like at night after they get back from tribal, it just seems like their relationship has kind of been tarnished from number ones. There's kind of like allies, period. And it seems that Ricard has kind of taken over like that number one to Shan's spot for now. And in this episode, JD blows the challenge. He misses that last shot, giving, I believe it's Nasir, a chance to hit his shot, and the Green Tribe goes to tribal again, where although JD begs for his life and tries to throw Genie under the bus, it seems that it's going to be Genie voting for him, and it's whatever Shan and Ricard choose, which is really whatever Shan chooses, and Shan chooses to blindside her ally with his advantage in her pocket. And then this past episode, episode 5, that has just aired yesterday as of filming and dropping this video. From what we see Genie now coming off of this tribal, and now the tribe is down to 3, and so it's very tight numbers. Genie's scared because she knows that Ricard and Shan are very, very, very tight, and so she finds So she finds the beware advantage that Brad got voted out with in his pocket. It's the same one, and if she opens it, then she loses her vote. So she keeps it there. But first, before she puts it back there, she tells Shan and Ricard that she found it and where she's putting it. And then Shan and Ricard later go and find it. And Shan offers to forfeit her vote if it means that they can open the advantage and get the possibility of an idol. And they hoped that someone from Luvu found their part of the advantage so that all 3 tribes can get activated, because they know that Xander has his activated. And so when they get to the challenge, Nasir now finally proclaims, and we get a little flashback, that Nasir in fact did find his part. And so it's Shan, Nasir, and Xander who all have these advantages, and now they're all activated. They all get their votes back. And so at this point, Shan, Genie, and Ricard lose the challenge, and so we get them going tribal again. And so now they'll be down to 2, and Shan and Ricard have this huge blown out argument because Shan tries to do the same thing that she did at JD, where she takes tries to ask for Ricard's advantage. But the difference is, 1, that she wasn't trying to vote out Ricard in this scenario, and 2, that the advantage that she was asking for was actually hers originally, that she gave to Ricard to hold. I don't know if Ricard's going to give it back to her after, because spoiler alert, Genie does get voted out in this episode. But yes, Genie ends up getting voted out in this episode, despite the fact that we don't really know if it's going to be going into tribal. It was very back and forth as to what's going to happen. Is Genie going to be able to flip maybe Shan on Ricard? But we knew going in that there was no way that Shan was going, and if there was no way that Shan was going, I don't know why Shan would pick Genie as an ally over Ricard, unless she was just that scared of Ricard as an overall player to go in and turn around and just blindside her. But it seems like Ricard's very, very low to her, and so that leaves this tribe with 2 people left. We're in the same position as we were, for an example, in a season like Philippines, except for the fact that Yase did lose two members. But we're at the same spot, just with a little bit less numbers, because of the fact that one, there was a double boot in the premiere, and then two, that the Yellow Tribe did lose in the second episode. And so it's a very similar situation to the Philippines with the Mat Singh tribe, in which there's just Ricard and Chantel left, and they have to fend for themselves. But the interesting part is what we're. I don't want to spoil the episode on, or sorry, the video on Saturday, but we're going to be talking about the twist at the merge, and what that could possibly. It's going to be a really good one, because I'm really curious as to what they're going to do, if they're going to go to past twists for the merge, like a fake merge or something like that, or if they're going to create a whole new one, and what they could possibly be cooking up in their heads over there in CBS headquarters over there. But anyways, moving on, I want to talk about how other 3 tribe seasons have gone, and which of the 3 tribes that get to the merge, like the small one, the medium one, or the big one, how each of those tribes has done in all 3 tribe seasons, being All-Stars, Philippines, Cagayan, and again, we're doing starting in 3 tribe seasons. So that's All-Stars, Philippines, Cagayan, Worlds Apart, then we have Korong, and then we have HHH, and then I think that's it. That is it. And so those are the seasons that have started with 3 tribes. Let's go through all of them, and let's figure out what's the best way to go into the merge. Is it smallest, medium, biggest? But first, let's just talk about how it's happened in the past, and how that has affected the winners of the season, or even just the people that have gone very far in past 3 tribe seasons. In Cagayan, we see there's a Brain, a Beauty, and a Brawn tribe, and early on, the Brain tribe loses 3 members, so they get down to 3, and then there's a swap. Also, on top of that, the Beauty tribe does lose 1, so there you go. Brawn tribe is fully intact at the swap, and then the swap happens, and we get 1 Brawn go, another Brawn quit, and then we get 1 Beauty go as well. And so we end up with, I believe, 4 Bronze at the merge, 4 Beauty at the merge, and 3 Brains at the merge. And it's a merge of 11. And so it's pretty even in this season, so there's not much to take away here. Brawn ends up winning, but not in a way that's like something where you can take it away and learn a lesson. Tony's game is not the game you're gonna like analyze for how clean it was. It was definitely not a clean win, so it's kind of hard to analyze that season for how to navigate a 3 tribe season, because nobody's Tony. The next time that we see the 3 tribe season format is in Worlds Apart, where we see 3 tribes being no collar, white collar, and blue collar. In this season, I really don't think that there's much to navigate also, because the winner is someone who won out the entire game and would have gone home if he didn't win 5 challenges in a row, or whatever it was, like 5 challenges out of the last 6 challenges, something like that. And so I feel like it's hard to analyze the winner from the season, because he really wasn't supposed to be the winner strategical wise. So again, similar to Cagayan, this isn't really the season to like analyze when trying to navigate a 3 tribe season, because that's not the way that you want to necessarily look at a season that has 3 tribes to say, let me go play like Mike Holloway or Tony Vlachos. It's just not a consistent way to play the game. Another season in which I feel the same about Cagayan and Worlds Apart is Korong, and that's because the winner, Michelle, came from the dominant tribe. So you would think the lesson is win challenges early on, but the issue is, one, she never went to tribals, so she could never get voted out in the pre-merge, which is kind of hard to say, okay, let me go in, and my plan is just to never go to tribal. That's not really a good plan. And on top of that, she did almost very nearly, 1, get voted out at Final 5 if it weren't for the medical evacuation, and then 2, also very controversial win. And so it's not the best game to analyze, just like how Tony's and Mike's are as well. But finally, we get to a season that I feel like is a great season to analyze, also because it's the closest season to this season. That's really good to analyze. In this season, HHH, right? We get to the merge, and the Hustlers have 3 left. The Heroes have, I believe, 4 left, and that leaves the Healers tribe with, I believe, all 6. What was it? All 6? I feel like it was all 6. Yeah, it was all 6 people. And so at this point, all of the Healers are blindsided, because the Hustlers and Heroes team up together. So all of the Healers are blindsided here. somewhere near the early merge, except for Dr. Mike. And Dr. Mike stays. But aside from that, they basically all get taken out here, which shows being the biggest tribe is never the best idea, especially if you have all 6 members. We've now seen this twice with both the Tandang and the Healer tribe, both yellow. But by the way, I don't know if that's a bad omen or something, but yeah. But both tribes that had 6 people left, when they got to the merge, aka all of their members, and they got picked off one by one. Now, of course, there are people from the tribe that's surviving and get farther, who are from the Samurai tribe. Usually, it's not all 6 go back to back, but usually it's most of them, and we see that in both of these cases. But the interesting thing for me that I think is after this, the tribe that had the smaller numbers then gets just turned on by the Heroes tribe, who had 4, versus the Hustler tribe, which had 3. So it just shows that even if you're the smallest tribe and you're able to sneak in, it's hard to sneak in for so long. And that's why what Malcolm and Denise did in Philippines is so impressive, because not only were they able to sneak in with the Kalabao tribe and infiltrate that Tandang majority, but then on top of that, they were also able to infiltrate the Kalabao tribe in order to get, the Penner blindside to happen, the Jeff Kent blindside to happen, all of these blindsides, the Carter vote to happen, all of this stuff that wouldn't have happened if Malcolm and Denise didn't get so well integrated within these 2 tribes in Tandang and Kalabao. And so I think it just shows that just because you're the smallest person, smallest tribe going in to the merge, you're not set. You're not just gonna Matt Sing your way to the end, because that's not a very repeatable strategy, especially nowadays when people have seen that season, and so they know to look out for that Matt Sing tribe. And so I think personally the best spot to be, well, we'll talk about that later actually. But first, let's talk about Ricard and Chantel individually, because we've gotten so caught up in these other seasons that I forgot this is the video on 41. So let's talk about Ricard as a player. Ricard definitely being edited as a villain, but he is a very good player. We've seen him now tell Shan how to manipulate JD and Brad, and on top of that, we've seen him concoct strategies to get Jeannie and well, we didn't see him concoct Sarah's blindside, but Jeannie especially, we saw him just lie right to Jeannie's face, straight face, and so he's definitely being portrayed as a villain and acting like a villain, and definitely more villainous than Chantel, even though Chantel has probably done more villainous actions. Chantel's getting more of the hero or like anti-hero edit, which I think is better for Chantel's longevity in the game, whereas I feel like Ricard may have some issues at the merge just based on his edit alone, but then also his actions and the way that he plays the game for sure. And then as far as Chantel, she's been the most dominant force, I think, honestly, probably since, let's just say it's been a while. I think the last time that someone was this well positioned in their pre-merge tribe was maybe like Mike Holloway in his 6-person tribe in Worlds Apart. Like, I feel like aside from that, I can't think of a time where someone was just running their tribe like boom, 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 like just back to back. And on top of this is much more impressive than like something like Mike Holloway in his blue tribe, his the blue collar tribe in Worlds Apart, because of the fact that in that tribe he was able to just control his tribe, make really good like close relationships. But in this tribe, it seems like Shan has a lot more work to do than Mike did, and it just shows because Shan is playing really, really hard, blindside after blindside, and she's keeping the people who are very, very loyal to her all the way down to Ricard, the most loyal person to her. So I think Chantel is a really, really good player, and I think she's super, super good at what she's doing right now, and if she can keep it up, I think she'll be in a great spot to go very far in the game. My next thing that I have on my notes is anyone from UA gonna win? I don't think so. I think Ricard probably doesn't have the winner's edit. Definitely, probably doesn't have the winner's edit. And then Shan, I feel like she's getting too much of an edit to the point where she might be our Rob Goddess. Honestly, the person where we're like, oh no, they just went. She also could win, but I mean, it would be such a comeback, such a stretch. This would be better than the Matt Singh storyline, better than the 444 storyline, better than the Taj, JT, and Steven Fishback storyline, better than the I-24. This would be the best comeback story in Survivor history if Ricard and Shan could get to the end and then Shan wins. That would be the most satisfying season in my opinion, probably ever. who is the better player? I'd say it's 100% Shan. She's done more work, and although Ricard is a good player, I think Shan beats him at the end, and I think that's really the deciding factor. Is if we're on just about even ground when it comes to moves made, if I beat you at the end and we both made the same moves, come on now, like I'm the better player, and so I feel like Shan just takes both of those characteristics, and so I feel like she's the better player overall. Strategically, I'd say probably socially as well, and I'd say physically she's not too far off from beating Ricard, honestly. And yeah, how do you guys feel about Ricard and Shan? What is your prediction for how they're going to end up? Are they going to go all the way to the end of the season, or are they going to get voted out at this fake merge or whatever the hell's happening? Speaking of fake merge, next time on this channel, not next time on Survivor, on Saturday on this channel, I'll be dropping my merge twist video where I'm going to discuss the twist slash swap slash merge slash not necessarily, says Jeff at the drop the buffs, whatever this thing is. I'm going to discuss all the possibilities, what the statistics say about what it could be, what things they've done in the past like this, and what it could be. Is it going to be new? It's going to be like an old thing that they've already done. I'm going to go deep into the idea of what this could possibly be. And that's it, guys. Thank you for the constant support, liking, subbing, turning on the bell, and then hitting all notifications. That's the most important thing. But really, the most important thing is that you guys continue to come back and support me, and I will continue to come back to you and make daily content. Daily content continues. Obviously, we're taking Fridays and Sundays off. Now we're taking just Fridays off. Saturday, so we have full weekend content as well as Monday through Thursday content. Again, guys, thank you for the continued support. It means a lot. That's it. I'll talk to you guys later.